Hello and welcome to another technical takedown the hard way. In today's video, we're going to be discussing my DIY rooftop tent. I wanted to speak a little bit more about the design because I have changed a few things. I wanted to talk about the solar panels on the roof. Of course, like I said, I was thinking of doing a build where I use photovoltaic glass for the roof. Now, the reasons why I want to use photovoltaic glass is because I want to be able to still get a lot of sunlight. It doesn't have to be head-on, full sunbeams into the actual cabin or the interior space of the rooftop tent. But I want to make sure that if we, as a family of 3, are inside the rooftop tent, that we feel like there is a lot of space in there, that there is some room for maneuver. We want to make it into an environment which we don't mind spending 2, 3, 4 hours in, even during the daytime, if we're just chilling and relaxing. I know my wife isn't going to want that, but because she's not the type of person that likes to relax in bed. She thinks bed should be for sleeping, and I should be agreeing, but I don't. So the question is, how do I do that? The way we do it is by putting a roof which allows sunlight in, but not too much sunlight. From the research that I have done, photovoltaic glass that people use in windows come in different levels of transparency. So I could use a photovoltaic glass which is not so transparent. However, the efficiency of converting solar energy into electrical energy is not so good. This is from what I hear. The technology is progressing pretty quickly. Okay, so the videos that I've been watching, yes, I know I do my research on YouTube. The ones that I were watching were 3, 4 years old. So, there's been precious little that has been put out there in terms of research and development to show us, what the future holds for new methods of transparent photovoltaic glass. There is one which is totally transparent, but the efficiency is so low, it is not something that we could use. So I'm thinking, how are we going to be able to get somewhere in the regions of 300 watts out of rooftop solar panel, mounted solar panel, using this photovoltaic glass, if the efficiency, the peak efficiency, apparently from what I hear, is going to be around 30%. 30% is actually very, very good. However, this means that the transparency of that glass is not going to be that good. I wanted it to be transparent so I can lie down at night and we can look up and we can see the stars. That's something that I've always wanted to do. In a raised height, in a bit of safety, for me that is perfect. It's a perfect sleeping environment for especially being on the road, and that's what I'm looking for. So I thought to myself, how are we going to do this? And I'm going to show you a picture now. So as you can see, what I've done with the rooftop tent is that I simplified the design. Now, why have I simplified the design? I've simplified it because I realize I will now need to maximize the amount of surface area exposed to sunlight. So I need the biggest piece of glass that I can find, the biggest piece of photovoltaic glass that I can find. This is important because I think I'm going to have to do the math here. But if I can find the right photovoltaic glass and I can get in, let's have a look, to 2.5 meters by I think it's 1.5 meter. I'm gonna have to take a look at those numbers again. No, it's going to be around 1.20 meter. Yeah, 1.20 meter wide. Okay, I'm going to do the mathematics in my head real quickly. So 1.2, so that gives us around 5 square meters. And I think 5 square meters will give us 200 watts. And 200 watts is usable. We could use 200 watts. We could do the journey in 200 watts, but you're forgetting that we are using an extra large battery. We're going to have one more extra large lithium ion battery, which is going to, and hopefully should serve us for the entire journey. That's going to be able to power the induction cookers and things like that, and the coffee maker. I'm not even 100% sure whether I'm going to use a coffee maker. I might just use the induction cookers to warm the water up so I can do that. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how this works out. I've seen the jet cooker, but that's not going to be possible to use. I think I'm going to make a dedicated video about coffee making appliances that will give us good, great tasting, strong coffee, but will also be very efficient in the way it heats up the water, and something that we can use to electrically heat the water with. We might use diesel power, actually. If we take a diesel, there's a possibility for us to take a small diesel burner. Diesel burners are really good, by the way. They are really good because, you know, we've already got that fuel source with us. We always will have it. Apparently they're dirty to use. They're not very user friendly, but definitely something we can look at. But apart from that, everything else is we're going to use electricity. We're going to use a lot of electricity. We've got laptops, we've got phones, we've got cameras, we've got all those types of things that we are going to be bringing with us, and we are going to need good electrical power, and the vast majority of our electrical power is going to come from this rooftop tent roof with the photovoltaic glass. Now, of course, we're not going to solely rely on this as well. We should bring some portable, flexible solar panels. So we are going to be able to have a backup. So if we do get to the camp early, you know, we can set out the solar panels, and then it will catch the last part of the night and also the first part of the morning. We are hopefully not going to be leaving in the morning anyway. So that's one way around it, but we do need to maximize the amount of solar energy that we harness during the day. And the way we do that is by maximizing the surface area of this photovoltaic glass. You know, it seems pretty easy, right? It seems a pretty easy thing to do. It's not easy though. We're going to experience some problems. Carrying a huge piece of glass on the top of your car is not exactly safe in some cases. So the glass needs to be made to a certain standard, okay? Automotive standard, I would even say, because if the worst does happen, clearly you don't want this huge piece of glass to be leaving the structure of the rooftop tent and doing some bad damage. This now changes. It makes a significant challenge for us now, because what we are building in essence is not a roof anymore. We're building a huge window frame. That's basically it. It's a huge window frame which has the ability to close onto a lower base when we are going to move somewhere. So we need to look at things slightly differently. Now, this can have its positives and its negatives. Again, you know, window frames need to close. They need to be waterproof. So that's really good. Making sure that the glass can survive the elements, that the components themselves can survive the elements, because we're going to be in the rain, we're going to be in the sun, we're going to be in some really harsh weather. This is something we're going to discuss with the manufacturers of the glass. We are hoping that we are going to get to a point where we can really get some high quality glass that can withstand the test of time. 2 years, open road, hardcore weather. Let's see what happens. I don't want to run over on time. I am aware of the time, but I just wanted to quickly say that this is all looking really good now. I prefer to do it this way because the design is so much more simpler. And the more simpler the design is, the easier it is for me to create it right here in my home. So yeah, things looking good. Everything is looking good in regards to that. I'm glad that we changed our minds about the rooftop tent, even though I loved the look of my previous design, I do need to think about function before form, basically. Really needs to do the job, and it needs to do it day in, day out. You know, whilst we're driving in 100-degree weather, it needs to be able to perform its job to its highest capability. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to continue designing these rough. We're getting to the point now where we're going to have to start fabricating things. That's where we're at now. So yeah, things are looking good. I'm really looking to dive in head first and get some things done. Guys, I'm going to be filming it all, so keep an eye here on the hard way, and hopefully, and you will see for yourself what we can achieve right here in our home. Okay, so thank you for watching. Keep an eye on this channel and we'll be able to show you how to do it yourself right here in the comfort of your own home. Thank you for watching.